No, we appreciate it, buddy. It's good to be on with you again. I know I was just with you a couple of weeks ago. And certainly, yeah, I come on today with a little bigger purpose and a heavy heart. But I appreciate you letting me come on and tell some of the local listeners there because they might have known this good friend of mine. So I call up because I just got some news recently that a dear friend of mine, really a brother of mine, has been diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. And interesting because the more I read up on it, the more I found out about it. What you realize is every 90 minutes, someone is diagnosed with ALS in this country, in this world, really. And so as I'm looking through, I thought most people probably then have a friend or a family member that they may know that has this horrific disease that really basically hits your neurodegenerative system and then just cuts off the ability for you to talk, to swallow, to walk, to move, to breathe. It's really one of the worst diseases we have in this world. And sadly, once you kind of find out that you've been diagnosed with this, the lifespan shrinks to between 2 and 5 years is what they say. With that, a lot of obviously medical bills and accumulation of things, expenses throughout the time you're trying to take care of that loved one. This was a dear friend of mine who I actually lifeguarded with back in my college days, him and his brother, Chris Lambertson and Craig Lambertson. Chris, the one suffering with Lou Gehrig's right now. But lifeguarded with them both back in the day in Fenwick Island, Delaware. And I know we get listeners who can hear us there in Fenwick Island. Two boys who grew up in Dover, Delaware. And I know we've got a large contingent of listeners there in Dover, Delaware as well. If you live and you grew up in Dover, Delaware, you probably knew these brothers because the personalities are huge. The hearts are huge. Just great men as they've grown up and been able to do a lot. I know Chris in particular has traveled the world, done a whole lot, probably lived the life of 5 men in his 40-plus years that he's been on this earth. But I wanted to give a call because they're doing a great fundraiser tomorrow, February the 20th. They're going to be doing a cornhole tournament, and it's going to be in Lewis, Delaware, at the Factory. I'll give the address out, and then, of course, I told PG, our producer, he's going to put some of the information on the website, and he'll give a website that if you aren't able to make the fundraiser but you want to donate, 100% of the proceeds are going to go to Chris and his family to help with the medical bills here as they deal with this disease. But the Factory, it's a cool little, kind of like a youth center where a lot of times they'll do basketball tournaments and things like that. They're going to do the cornhole tournament, which I absolutely love, and it kills me that I'm not going to be there tomorrow to be a part of it. But it's at 17543 Nassau Commons Boulevard, and that's in Lewis, Delaware, the Factory. You can also find all the information about this cornhole tournament for tomorrow at www.factoryhoops.com. And if you get a chance, it's a Saturday afternoon with the kids. If you're in Dover and you obviously know Chris Lambertson or even Craig Lambertson, you want to come down and say hi to Craig and support this great cause, I really ask you to do so because it'll be a fun day as well down there in Lewis. I know those guys will be there. A bunch of us buddies who we used to lifeguard with back in the day are going to make a trip out over to say hi and be a part of this as well. They're going to do silent auction. They're going to have prize raffles, kid activities. They're going to have a barbecue going on. So it's going to be a lot of fun if you get a chance to get over there. Just a great guy, both Chris and Craig. I know them both very, very well, and really hurts that I'm not able to be there with them tomorrow, but actually going to probably go in a couple of weeks and visit Chris. He's out in Arizona currently with his wife and 3 kids, so I'm going to go see him hopefully in a couple of weeks and see Craig as well. But again, this is just a brutal disease, Mike. I don't know if you know anyone in particular that has suffered from Lou Gehrig's, but it's just an awful disease that you have. You're just very, very unlucky to get it. There's no particular thing you do to get this disease. It just comes about. And the sadness of it, Mike, is, and the scary part is most people with this ALS are diagnosed between the ages of 40 and 70. So, there's nothing you can do to really prevent it. You just kind of wake up each day and kind of say a prayer as you go through your day. But it doesn't discriminate, and it can happen to anybody at any time. So I really appreciate it, Mike. You know, the Ice Bucket Challenge, which I think a lot of people know about, came up in 2014. That's kind of when ALS and the Lou Gehrig's disease kind of came to the forefront a little bit and exploded across the country as everybody kind of made their little selfie videos of doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. I actually did it. I videotaped it for a couple of my friends at the time as well. So hopefully this will bring some more awareness back to the Lou Gehrig's disease. It's just a brutal, brutal disease, Mike.
All right, man. And that's this weekend over in Delaware for our Delaware listeners out there. If you want more information, you can either send us a text at 609-403-0973 for more information, factoryhoops.com. And that will be this weekend over there for the people in Delaware. And if you're on the Jersey side, you want to take that drive. And if anybody out there knows these guys, probably try to get out there and support, man. Well, we appreciate a couple minutes of helping out the listeners out there. And, hopefully it's a great event.
I appreciate it, big guy. We'll talk to you soon for sure.
All right, man. Take care.